All right. We are fully present.
Okay.
So she's making decisions, she's making choices, but it's beyond your comprehension. It's beyond your ability to figure it all out, even. So you just define your relationship with that, and that's what's going to set everything right for you, but also to offer a positive guiding influence, if you would. Because as she dabbles with the non physical and then returns to the physical, if you are holding that energy, then there is not that sense of drama that many times can come from that type of experience. And so there is not a hard decision. There is not any sort of pressure put onto the situation. It's just sort of, this is nice, this is nice, I like this, I like this, and I think I'll continue forward doing so and so. And it is an ongoing deciding process.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's been part of the equation I've been trying to figure out is how much do I, you know, put into it to, um, make decisions about how she's cared for, and I'm trying to listen to her and what she wants, and yet at the same time, I want to make sure that she gets what she needs. And so there's, because you can't go into the hospital now and see anybody. It's all like over the phone. You get, I have to call and get information, and she's not comprehending, I don't think, everything that's going on. She doesn't want to. She doesn't really want to, know all that. So I've just been like trying to like not get over involved and over um, exaggerate the situation. It's and so I think for me, the what feels good is, letting her know that we're here, and we certainly want her to come back and be with us at home, and we'll do whatever we can for her, whatever she wants. um, I just didn't know if, like, how people sometimes, the doctors will do this test and do that test and do this test and do this, and you don't know, like, do we do all that? Is there a reason to do all that? Just kind of hard to know sometimes where the right balance is for her when I'm making those decisions.
And so you have all of the decisions laid out in front of you, you have all of the choices, you have all of the options. And just take a moment to step away from all of that and just appreciate that you have the options. Appreciate that there is a process going on and you get to be part of it and you're still in communication and there are many possibilities and everyone's really doing their best. And
Mm-hmm.
from that state,
Mm-hmm.
just contemplate some of the different options and feel them out. And you can speak through that process here, and we'll sort of guide you along that decision making process.
So they told me today that she wants to stay in the hospital. She does, no, sorry, that they think she should stay in the hospital a few more days. And I talked to her briefly today, and she said, I needed a rest. I needed a rest. And I was like, okay, rest, that's good that you're there. And then she had to get off the phone because they were doing more tests. And when I talked to the nurse, she said, well, we're trying to get all her levels right. Um, you know, we're going to observe her. She needs to be here for that. And I said, well, what kind of, tests are you doing? And what kind of doctors are seeing her? And so she told me, who that was. Um, and I said, well, why? And why are they doing all of these tests? And she couldn't quite answer me. She said, oh, Dr. Levine was going to call you, and Dr. Levine did not call me. And so for me, the thing that I heard from her was rest, like she needed to rest. That was important. And then on the other hand, they want to keep her there. And I know that she doesn't like to be in the hospital and away from us. So that was one thing that I'm, a little bit trying to figure out.
That is a conversation that you have
With whom?
with everyone, particularly with her. But that is the open lines that you want to have between everyone as much as possible. And you are encouraged very much to get this doctor continually on the phone and open that communication. But then you also communicate with her, and she will express to you that, okay, I see. I would love to get out of here, but, and that will be a much more soothing conversation rather than this is what must be done. You must stay. It is for
Right.
your own good. And that will cause a resistance that will be difficult for everyone. So you have the conversation in the initial stages and you say, this is looking like what needs to happen. It's just a little bit more time for you to rest and relax. And you make sure to get in communication with the doctor as well. And she will accept it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I felt myself projecting onto the situation that she was going to be upset and that, I'm not making decisions that she would like to have made. But yet, I also feel like, because we've had the paramedics here every week for the past month, that's wearing down on her. So um, I see what you're saying. It's sort of like there is a path forward here, and the path is with, you know, energetically with everyone sort of coming together and finding a common resolution in a way
Very
without,
much so.
yeah, I
And so
see.
you hold the position of the energy because the doctor is looking for the energy. He's looking for the solutions that the energy will provide. And if you hold that energy and offer it to him, it will be received and help him along his path as well. And the
Yeah,
same is true with the assistants, and the same is true with your mother. The
yeah,
thing is, they don't really know how to consistently connect with that energy. And so it's sort of many times a shot in the dark. But as you have the conversation with everyone, you hold that energy and you're helping just by your presence having that conversation. They are
yeah,
clicking into place. They're saying, oh, I didn't think of this. This is the way forward. And then you speak to her and you hold the energy. And she said, I didn't think of it that way. I see that this is the way forward. And so it is a balancing act, but the thing that keeps it all in balance is you staying in balance.
yeah, yeah. No, that makes a ton of sense. I was trying to understand how I am this, how I am this situation, I am this. And I think you just basically said that it's through the energy that I am this situation, that I am this resolution, that I am this outcome. And
And
yeah,
and you don't even need to be having the physical conversations.
yeah,
You will, but that's not the basis of what's going on here. The basis is you holding the inner connection with the energy, period. But what that also affects is then you're thinking of your mother, you're thinking of these other people, and you're offering them the energy in that moment. And then they may consciously recognize it or not, but it's starting to even more strongly lead them down the trail. Now, the solutions and the answers are always available to them, but having this influence in the physical is really helpful to act as a bridge. In other words, we're speaking the words to you here, but it helps to have a physical body just sort of stuck in the middle that we can communicate through.
yeah,
And you get to function as that between everyone here. Now, it's that you get to. It is an enjoyable process for you. If you start to feel the responsibility weighing you down, or if you start to feel as if there is so much beyond your control, well, that's your opportunity to sort of back off and get back into your connection. So we don't want you to take on, in other words, you're not going to go in there and connect to the energy and perform all of the tests yourself. You stay in your state and you offer what you can offer as much as you can offer it.
that's really good, Joseph. And that actually kind of ties in with this other question I had that I wanted to ask you about, the sense of sort of being more and more connected to the energy on a daily basis in my life, in the routines, where I start to sort of intend. What does it feel like? It feels like the energy sort of precedes me in a way.
It
And
does.
it does, yeah.
Very
And
much so.
okay. And so, in that intelligent design of that happening, um, when I step into a situation, and this came to light this morning when I was putting water in my water bottle, that it was an enjoyable act. And behind it was the sense of water flowing, the rain falling, the mountains, the snow melting, like this whole very beautiful big experience of what was behind the water going into my water bottle. And I thought, there's a joy in this, and that felt like it was the intelligence of the energy coming through me, but also me joining up with it. And um, and and it made me think, oh, the energy flows. I step in with it. I am it, and these beautiful experiences then sort of come alive, you know, in my perception. And through this physical act of just getting water. And I wondered, oh, it must be like that really with everything. It must be
It
like
is.
that with everything.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
And you just stand with your vessel and you refill it from the source and you partake of it freely, and you know there's always more water that's going to be flowing and flowing and flowing, and there's always more of that energy that's going to be flowing and flowing and flowing. So you just stand open, receptive to it, accepting the things that come up that may slow it down for a moment, but then allowing that energy to just brush away all of the debris as it continues to flow. And it's refreshing.
Yeah. It is really refreshing. It's, it's very enjoyable too. And so then why are certain things why do we retain, why do we hold back um, certain, like I can stand at that water, putting water in my water bottle and have it be this beautiful experience. I can do that with many other things. But there are some things that I have resistance about with that, like, changing the physical body, or um, maybe, a relationship that is, been a certain way for a really long time. I mean, what is that, a belief? Is that just
It's just a belief.
it's just a belief. It's just a belief.
Because there are many things that you've put your action into and that you see and that you expect action to be necessary or involved. And it is, of course, in many ways. But just because you do not know how it is going to come about, that then causes you to want to work a little bit harder to make it come about, when there's really not that much you can physically do to make these things come about. And when on some level you recognize that, then you feel the greater angst or frustration or exhaustion. And that's what you then say, I must have a block going on.
Mm.
It's really just that there are so many things that are beyond, yes, your control, but also beyond the necessity of you to be involved at all. There are so many things going on and so many opportunities for non-physical energy to help you, to flow assistance to you. But if you're worried about all of the details, you're on
Yeah,
that wavelength and you're not receiving the inspiration, you're not receiving the physical things, you're not able to take effective action because you're sort of spraying energy in all sorts of different directions.
that's a really good point. It's almost like there's a rut or a groove, and you're kind of in this groove, and you can't see beyond the little groove that you're in, and the expectations and the control and the belief, that this that has been that this that has created this rut dominates, rather than, just climbing up a little bit and seeing that, oh, there's a whole other, you know, there's a sense of freedom that I haven't been allowing myself to feel that could lead to an opening that leads to a greater sense you know, of what is.
But as with all things, you want to take action. You want to get things going. And that's when you start to take on all sorts of roles that are not yours to take care of.
Yeah. Yeah.
In other words, if it's a relationship, many times you find yourself, oh, what is this person thinking? And why are they thinking it? And why am I responding to what I think that they're thinking? And what led them to think that? And what led me to think this? And all of this stuff that's beyond your purview. You don't have to worry about any of those things. When you accept that the non-physical energy, that your inner energy has the ability to bring all of those things into resolution. It's called letting go of the how.
Letting go of the how. So, is there a way to increase the energetic flow in daily life? I'm not talking about in experiences. I believe what you say, that there's enough intelligence happening that it's there. But within my own either physical apparatus or mental apparatus, is there a way to consciously increase that energy and to direct it? And I know you're going to say through intention.
Intention and attention. Intention sets the energy in motion, and attention continues adding fuel to the fire.
Okay, so like practice. So
focus. You could visualize it, you could write it out, you could imagine it, you could talk about it as long as it feels good, you could paint about it, but putting your attention in that direction. Not to try to force something to happen, but you have enough awareness of your energy that you know when that starts to creep in. But every time you give that subject your attention, you could think of it as putting a little quarter in your piggy bank. And every time you give it attention, you put another quarter in the piggy bank until you have enough energetic currency that the physical manifestation is going to come about.
Yeah. And last week you were explaining, you were teaching me about this idea that feeling of, say there's something, really exciting that I'm interested in, and I give it a lot of attention, and I could be brushing my hair, but thinking about it and feeling really good. And the same thing, like I could be, so what happened was I kind of was, oh, I'm really enjoying brushing my hair. And this is the same feeling as if I was out dancing, sort of like correlating some of the things that I'm doing and seeing them in this uplifted light with the same vibration or the same frequency, the same feeling of expanded joy that I have in my desire.
Yes.
So things start to connect, even though they may not seem like they're connected.
Yes. So you give your attention, let's say it's a lake house or a beach house, and you're writing it, you're drawing it, you're thinking about it. It's been 15 minutes and you say, okay, that's enough. And then you go about your day and you've set this energy forward and you're sort of riding on that wave. And then you could be brushing your hair, you could be dancing, you could just be thinking about dancing, but notice how it's all on that same frequency and it's going to build and build and build. And that way, it's not like you have this desire you focus on for a certain amount of time and then you go and sort of drudge feeling miserable through the day, and then you have to drug yourself with sleep. And then you wake up and then are enjoying your day for 15 minutes of visualization, and then you're miserable the rest of the day, because in that 15 minutes of visualization that you're enjoying, you're offering the energy that you desire to experience, but then you're blocking it the whole rest of the day.
Yeah.
So think of it like, and these are energetic terms, so we're going to get a little bit abstract here, but think of it as a little glowing bowl of energy, and you focus your attention there, and you focus it and you focus it and you focus it, and it gets bigger and stronger, and you know it's getting stronger because you feel it, and it's really a belief that is continuing to get stronger and stronger, radiating attractive. And then that is your intention that you have fed with energy through attention. We'll call it through visualization for 15 minutes or whatever. And then you go throughout the day. Well, then you set that creation in motion. And there's no resistance. You're not doubting it. You're not worried about it. You're not trying to make it happen. And you've set that little creation off. And now it's gaining momentum. It's off in the universe, and it's continuing to attract of its own accord because you've given it that momentum. You've given it that forward motion. But if you start to think about that and say, oh, okay, now I freaking have to visualize this again, I have to write more positive aspects of this, and you start to feel that weighing down, well, now you've taken that bowl of energy that was free creating in the universe and you've brought it down, and you started to slow it down a little bit by your worry, by your control, by your concern.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting up a shield, and it's not able to be received fully by you. So instead you just let it go, and then you think about something else nice, and then it's a little creation, like going to the grocery store or planning what you would like to eat, or where you would like to go, and then you have that and you give it your attention, and then that fun little dinner becomes an energy that's stronger and stronger, and you say, that sounds great, and then you just let it go and it floats forward. And so you're just doing that over and over throughout your day. And we understand that in sort of earlier stages, maybe that small amount of time is your joy for the day. But it does not need to be. You're rolling with the energy. You have all of these things in motion, and that's how you continue to create. And it's fun. Yes, because that visualization, you're not doing it because it's miserable, but you have to do it. You're doing it because it's an enjoyable process. And then that
Right.
energy just continues to flow.
Becomes something, to look forward to, something to get, even more excited about as it grows, as it builds. But the key that here to me is this idea that things are not segregated or separated energetically.
Because the common element is you.
Because the common element is me. Well, that's a good point. That's a really good point. The common element is me. Mm-hmm. Okay, my perception,
Your state of being.
my state of being, my creation. Yeah, my creative energy, my state. Yeah, very good. That's really good. So as I intentionally work with opening my heart, myself to the essence of divine energy in me, and focusing on that and allowing that to flow more and more through me, I am, as we were talking about earlier with the situation with my mother, I am allowing all of that energy really to also kind of support me and propel me in these perceptions, in these experiences. Yeah.
Yes. Because as you take that energy and you sort of release it to the universe and go about your daily business, it's still gaining energy, it's still gaining momentum, and you're connected with it. So it'll offer you inspiration, and you'll offer it more energy.
Yeah, I'm connected with it.
You are.
Right. There is no separation because it's all me in that respect. Okay.
And you could see it even as a scale, if you'd like a very sort of literal physical interpretation, where on one side you have all of your beliefs and your doubts and restrictions, and then on the other side you have that desire and that new manifestation. And every time you put yourself there, you add another sort of pebble on that side, and it becomes stronger. Now, you may still have some doubts, you may still have some resistances, but as you're not giving them airplay, you're taking that belief, you're taking that thought, you're taking that focus, you're taking that moment of your time, and you're placing it on that other side until there is that tipping of the scales.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. That's a good visual. That's a good analogy. Yeah. Okay. That's good. That helps me. That I love this idea of becoming more and more kind of absorbed in the, the physical integration of the energy. Like it's really a beautiful thing,
It
because
is.
creation feels more real. It feels like more conscious. It feels more
It's what you've come here to do,
yeah.
is to create.
Yes.
That's why it feels so good. It's part of your purpose. It's your passion. It's your meaning and reason for being here.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that everyone else is here to figure that all out. Everyone has their own sort of path, but once you get it,
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Um, thank you.
indeed. And so you have all of these powerful ideas. Once you let them run free, as you've given them lots of intention, you set them off to continue forward. Well, they call you forward too. They're attracting you forward. So that's why you feel that call. It's a stream of energy flowing from you forward into these desired experiences, and you follow it and you follow it and you follow it.
And is it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth?
It is. It's these creations are part of you, because if you look at it energetically, you sort of take your body out of the picture and imagine how it's all swirling around energetically. It's part of your state of being. It's part of your energetic field. It's part of who you are.
Yeah. 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 It's very cool. Thank you, Joseph. I'm so fortunate to have you as a teacher. Thank you so much.
Very much so.
I just so awesome.
Well, you've called it forward and you're allowing it, and you're trusting your own process enough to not only receive what we're offering here, but to let the assistance and the guidance and the energy flow to you from all different directions.
Yeah, as I've opened up to that, which you've helped me to allow, you really have helped me to allow. It just does, as you say, get more and more like interesting. I don't know what to call it, but more and more appealing. Like it gets more and more fun. So yeah,
It
thank you.
is.
Thank you so much. I don't have any other questions today, but this has been great.
Very much. You're continuing to tip the scales in that direction. So just enjoy it. And of course, you know that you're adding fuel to the fire. If you have something that you want to experience, if you have an intention, if you have a desire, you're focusing upon it and you feel the fire in your belly, or you feel the excitement or the energy, it means you're taking that idea and you're feeding it. You're giving it more life. It's getting stronger. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So do that. And then when it's time for you to take action, you'll be able to recognize the actions because they feel just like you felt as you were visualizing. They feel just like you felt as you were adding that fuel to the fire, because it's calling you forward. It'll feel like an old friend. And the same is true with your mother. The same is true with your body. The same is true with everything.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Very much so. We've enjoyed this conversation very much. It is a continual stream, so enjoy the flow. We are complete.
Oh, Aaron,
Hi.
thank you so much. Thank you so
you.
much. How does that feel to you? Like when they're just so like present and like, it's so.
It feels relaxing. It feels very relaxing. Is something that I notice. Like I'm always like trying to relax and like stay in the flow and things like that. But when I'm sitting and letting Joseph flow, it's like I can feel my body relaxing, like segment by segment by segment. And it just feels very relaxed for the whole thing. So I feel like I just took a little nap.
That's so awesome. You're just so like fluid with it. It's just amazing to me.
Thank you.
Just
It feels very natural now. So
yes.
I love it.
Oh yeah, I do too. Thank you so much for your gift of you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's great having you here. You're calling forth, amazing stuff from Joseph. So I appreciate it.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
Well, have a great week.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.